Okay, good evening, students. Let's wait for other students to join.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for the chess demo today. We have with us Sachin sir and Lakshmi sir who will be walking you through the course curriculum and will be able to answer all your queries. So I'll be handing it over to Sachin sir.
Yeah, thank you, Riya ma'am. Okay, good evening, students. So first of all, welcome all of you. So today we have very important coach from India. Is Mr. Lakshmi Narayan. He's a coach of an IM and GM, and he's more than 10 years of playing experience. And current ELO rating is 2200, and he's among the top 200 chess players in India. So it's an opportunity for all of you to really learn from him. And just to give you the idea, the benefit of chess is extremely beneficial for your studies. You can really improve in your mathematics. Your learning thinking power will improve. Your ability to calculate will also improve when you play chess, because while playing chess, it requires a lot of analytical skills. You need to have patience. You need to think of all the possible options. So it actually makes you a better a person, which actually thinks first before responding to any of the situation. Also, if you think chess is a sport, and it provides you a career opportunities as well. So when you really do well, you can represent your school, your state, and your country as well. Okay. So without wasting much time, let me hand it over to Lakshmi sir. Over to you, Lakshmi.
So today I'm going to show you about the beast movement. So we'll go to the beast movement. One second. Okay, before I start with the beast movement, I will just tell you that these vertical lines are files. Okay, and these side lines or the horizontal lines are rank, and the cross lines are called as diagonals. These cross lines. Okay, the vertical lines are called as files, which is the straight lines, and the side lines are called as rank, and cross lines are called as diagonal. Okay, so now coming to the point, you can see the piece movement of the pieces. Okay, so now I will explain the power of the queen. Okay, so the queen has power to move on the files rank and diagonal. So as I told you, the vertical lines. This is file. Okay, so queen has power to move on the files and the side lines, which is also the horizontal lines. These are called as the rank. Queen can move. Okay. Okay. So and the side lines, these cross lines are called the diagonals. Okay. So queen can move on the diagonals also. I mean, these cross lines. The cross lines are called as diagonals. Okay, so queen has these powers. It can move files, rank, and diagonal. Okay, so these are the power of the queen. So it can move anywhere. Wherever you are seeing the file or rank, it can move to any square where you want, within the file or within the rank or within the diagonal. Okay, so that's why the power of the queen is 9 points. Okay, so queen value is 9 points due to its power. Next piece is the rook. The value is only 5 points. Okay, it can move on the files and the rank. So it can move anywhere. within the file or rank. Can move anywhere within these squares. Okay, in a single move, it can go to any of these squares. Okay, so this is the power of the rook. So the queen can move on the files, rank, and diagonal, and the rook can move on files and rank. Okay, so next is the bishop. So I will just place the bishop here. So bishop, there are two pair of bishops given in the game. One is the white bishop and another is the dark square bishop. But okay, the bishops can move only on the diagonal. The white bishop can move on the white diagonal. White diagonal. You can see the white bishop can move in the entire white diagonal. The power of the white bishop, it can move to anywhere in this diagonal. These are the crossed lines. Okay, so it can move, and the black bishop can move in the black diagonal. I will just show the black diagonal. These are the black diagonal. So the black bishop can move anywhere, but it can move only in the black square diagonal. Okay, so these are the power of the pieces. You can see black has a different power and white has a different power, but both can move only in the diagonal. Anywhere it can move. Okay, so this is the bishop. Okay, so next is the knight. The knight moves in an L shape. Okay, so the knight from white, it jumps to black. Usually the knight will jump from white, will jump to black, and it will move in an L shape. So to understand the knight move better, I will just show 1, 2, 1, 2, and third, you need to make a bend like this. So again, you see like this 1, 2, then third is a bend. So this is an L shape. Likewise, it can come here 1, 2, 3 here, and also 1, 2, 3 here. So here also 1, 2, 1, 2, and 3. Like this. So L shape. So if you look at the knight possible moves, you can generally move 8 squares around. Okay, so in L shape. So this is the knight's movement. Actually, knight can move in L shape. Okay, so it can move in L shape. So totally 8 squares it can move. So this is the power of the knight. Okay. So the squares marked in the red color are those squares where the knight can really move. Okay, so L shape. If you look at this position. Okay. Okay. So now we will come to the king. The king can move in the file, in the rank, okay, file, rank, or in the diagonal also. But only one square it can move. It cannot move to more number of squares. So the king can move only one square like this, or like this, or to any of these squares. So this is about the king's move. Okay, so king can move only to one square in the file and diagonal, but only one square. The rook can move and files and rank to any number of squares, and the queen can move file, rank, and diagonal. Okay, rook can move only on file and rank, and bishop can move only on diagonal. Okay, so this is the thing which you need to understand. Okay, so now we will go to some positions. So mating patterns. Okay, so let's say black king is here, and he has 2 pawns. You got a rook here. Okay, so black's pawns are coming this side. Okay, so you're playing as white. So you have a rook, so it can move on files and rank. Okay, so now how can you make checkmate to the black king? Okay, so rook c8. So rook c8 is a check. You can see there's a check. And when the king is in check and is unable to move, it's called checkmate. Okay, so this is a mating pattern. Okay, so next. Okay, so let's have a position like this. So how can you make checkmate here? You have a black diagonal bishop which can attack the black squares, and the king is mainly in the black square, and king has no moves now to move around. So one good check will end the game. So where can we play the bishop? Okay, so bishop to c3. Okay, so good mate. Okay. Okay, before going to advanced examples, I will just remind you a few basic things. Okay. Okay, so white to play to mate black king. How can you use the knight and make black's king? Knight f7 is a check, okay, but king is unable to move. It is true that king is unable to move, but the rook is there, so he will sacrifice it. And once you take, you also don't have any material, and black also is not having any material, so it's just a draw. Okay, so knight to g6. Okay, good move. Okay, so the rook can move only on the files, and files and rank, so it's not able to capture this knight because it doesn't have the power to attack in the diagonal. So there's a check here. Okay, okay. Now we'll come to a position. Okay, also in chess, the material you have is more important, but in some position you can give any number of material if you are able to mate black king. You can give any number of material, sacrifice any number of material if you are able to mate black. Okay, so this is one perfect example. So we will see that black is having really lot of materials here. Okay, so now it's white to play and win. White has very less number of pieces, the queen and the knight. How can we mate here? But black has a huge material. White to play, we can mate here. So how can you mate here? Maximum 5 moves you can mate. So white to play. So this is to demonstrate some positions material really doesn't count if you are able to mate. You can sacrifice any number of material if you are able to win the game. So how can you mate here? Any ideas? Okay, queen to e6 check. Okay, so king will not come to f8. If king comes to f8, what will happen? King will not come to f8 anyway. If king comes to f8, what will happen? Okay, knight h7 is a mating, as well as queen to f7 also is mating. Okay, so after queen to e6, black will move the king to h8. Okay, now white to move. Okay, queen g8. Okay, somebody has told queen g8. Okay. So here there are two options for black to capture. One is with the king and one is with the rook. So here black will capture with the king and black will be a queen up. Because black will not capture with the rook, then it will be a mate. So what black will do is black will capture with the king. So we must get a position where we should force black to capture with the rook. So how can we do here? Okay, so queen a6, king h8. Okay, so this position, so queen to e6, check, king goes to h8. Okay, not f8. King goes to h8. Now how will you? Okay, how can you mate here? Okay, knight f7 is a check. So king will come to g8. Okay, now okay, knight d8, king h8. Okay, so I will show another mate here. Okay, knight h6. Somebody has told knight h6, which is a very good move. Okay, here too, king cannot come to f8, because if king goes to f8, then we will be able to mate like this on f7 with the queen. So king will finally go to h8. Now you can force mate. How can you win here? Queen to g8. Okay, so queen to g8 check. Then rook captures g8 now. Okay, knight to f7, checkmate. Okay. Okay, going back to this position. Okay, so this position. Now how white can mate black king? White has few pieces and the knight and the queen. So how can you mate? Sure. White to play. Queen takes h7. There is queen. Okay, so queen takes h7. Check. And black takes with the queen. Okay, so knight to so this is a very good mate. Okay. So next idea which I'm going to use is called decoy. Okay, so this is a very powerful idea to win the game. Okay, white has got his pawn here, and white should win the game quickly. So how can white win the game quickly? Okay, rook a1 is a good attempt to mate on a7, but black will play queen e3 check. Okay, so queen e3 check, attacking the queen. So once you take, he will take back. Now there is a possibility for him to hold a draw. Okay, because for queen takes b7 is a mistake. That will lead to mate. If he plays queen d6, then the game is over. After king c8, is going to come to c1. This is winning. And likewise, if we block like this, we can always break the coordination by playing rook to a8. Check. He takes, we win the queen. Okay, but the problem is, after rook a1, black will play queen to e3 check. So there's no win here. Okay, so any other move you can try? So queen e3 is coming. So if you play rook a1, queen to e3 is coming. So queen on b6 is attacked. So that's the problem. So if you take, he will take, and again the b7 pawn is attacked, and he will also get the rook back. and will win the pawn. So what can be played here? Okay, rook c8. When you play rook c8, let's say you play rook c8, the only move for him is to capture. Rook takes. Now your move. So after rook c8, he will take. Okay, b into c8, queen, and then he will take with the queen, king, and it is very hardly white can win because all these pieces are coordinated, and there is a lot of checks also coming. So this is not really easy to win, right? Okay. So also somebody has told queen to c6. Okay, this is really a good try. Queen to c6, trying to come here. But once again, there is going to be a check here. This will be a check here. And after king moves something to g2, then again check, and the queens will get exchange. And once again, black can hold for a draw. So there is no real winning chances here. Okay, so any other try? So any other try? So rook a1 has been tried. Okay, so we have tried rook a1. Okay, and rook c8 also has been tried. So any other try? Queen c6 also has been tried. Okay, so you can tell your moves. Uh, Queen c6. Okay, queen c6. As I told you, if queen c6 comes, then queen to e3 is going to come. Okay, queen to a6. You want to play queen to a6? Okay. Queen a6, then he will go queen e3, and this rook is also being attacked. Check. Okay, and he will take the rook also. Also, if you want, he can force the exchange of the queens. So this is also not really winning. And all these are very bad for white. Okay, so here, now I will show a powerful idea which is called decoy, an intermediate move. When you play this move, he takes, it's not necessarily you must take. Here we use an intermediate move by sacrificing the queen to a7, check. Okay, so I will repeat it again. So rook to c8, check, so forcing him to take, then queen to a7, check. Already the rook is given, now the queen is also given. So once he takes, we take the knight. Now you can see check and check here. Can you see? So check here and check to the queen. So this is a very powerful idea in chess. Okay, so mating patterns. So rook c8 and queen a7. And if he plays king to c7, then we can take on c8 with the pawn and take a queen, and also we can attack like this. Okay, so check. We can attack like this. Okay, so the conclusion is rook c8 and he takes queen to a7. Okay, so next one, related ideas. Okay, so in this position, you can see that white is completely pieced up, but black is going to win the game. He uses a very strong tactical idea. Okay, so how can black win this position? So how can black win the game here? Can anyone tell? So already white is a piece. Okay, you take on g2, then most probably he will take with the queen. And he will remain a piece up, and slowly he will start developing this piece. And this is good for white. Okay. So this is not really okay. So any other thing which you want to try here? Okay. Pawn to f2. Okay, pawn to f2. The value of the pawn increases. Anyway, if it goes here, it can become a 9 points. But however, the bishop on f1 is really blocking. So white will coordinate all the pieces. He will keep the rook in a safe square, and he will protect this. And this pawn is really not going anywhere because the bishop is really too strong to block the pawn on f2. So it is not going anywhere. So what can we play here? A6, queen to c3. Okay, queen to c3. Anyway, even if you come here, white is really not going to take. Meantime, white will play the queen here. White will start slowly bringing the queen, and this is very good. And let's say even if you sacrifice the queen here, he's not going to take. Instead, he will play queen d2. Now he'll start attacking this. So black cannot do anything here. Okay. Okay. So any other try? Okay, queen f2 looks quite promising, but okay, we will defend. Again, counter attack is the best solution. Yeah. So attacking like this. So now queen to f2, then queen to g3. We attack with queen to g3 back. And we are attacking the queen. So what can be done here? The queen is also giving excellent support to the rook. Not only that, it is also attacking the queen on f2. So if we pawn takes, no problem. We can always take with the bishop. The bishop gets developed and the coordination is really good. So black is not able to win here because white is quite solid here. So this is good for white. So however, here we can use a very strong sacrifice on g1. Check, giving 9 points free of cost. So once black captures, now making the king to come to the g1. After he hits, we play f2. This is called a tempo, which will be discussed. Okay, so check. And attacking the rook, and when he goes there, now the queen which is sacrificed, now black pawn advances and he wins back the queen, and not only that, he wins the rook back, and this bishop is also attacked, which is unable to move, and black wins the game. You can see that queen to g1 suddenly. Okay, so takes, one push, king moves, and pawn takes. Okay. Okay, students, do you have any doubt in this patterns which I showed you? Okay. Okay, Sachin sir.
Yeah, so I think Lakshmi really good. So I think here what we have a variety of students. Some of the students are really very good intermediate level. Some of the students are beginner. And just to recap, because there was a lot of questions I was answering parallelly. So the question about the pieces values. So just to highlight again, the king value is 0 points because it cannot be captured. And also remember, students, that we cannot capture the king because then it will be a illegal move. And if by mistake your opponent capture your king, then you can claim a victory raising your hand with the arbiter. Secondly, the queen is the most important and most valuable piece, and it carries 9 points. Then you got rook, which carries 5 points, and bishop and knight carries 3 points each, and then finally a pawn, which has 1 point. Now the total, this is called chess because it's an indoor game. It is a sport, and it is played on the 64 squares chessboard. Okay, and we all know that the pieces moves the queen can move on the diagonal, and can play the moves of both rook and bishop. The only exceptional piece is knight, which moves like in L shape. Also, we know that if there are 3 repeated moves, then it will be a draw, and we can see some position where there will be stalemate, where the king don't have any move to play, and it is not under attack. If a king is under attack and it cannot move, then it is called a checkmate. And checkmate is also the main goal of playing chess. Okay, this is really important for all of you, and we have been doing a lot of courses with Valedra, so some of the students have given their good feedback, and there have been questions about whether they get the opportunity to play chess. So just a reminder to student, this is just a demo session, and we know we cannot cover everything in a 30-minute session, and we also know that we have beginners in this session. So what we're trying to do is to just do justice with every student. And what we are doing here, we are covering the basics, as well as we are giving some important tricky puzzles. In case you have any questions, you can use the chat box, and I'm closely monitoring it, and I'm also closely monitoring all your questions. Okay, and just a reminder, Lakshmi sir is very senior coach, and his rating is 2200. So if you compare a rating with a chess.com or leechess.com 2200, I mean, a national rating of 2200, international rating of 2200 is very, very senior rating. And he's among the top 200, 250, ranked player. And he has virtually played with all the grandmaster and international master. And he's the coach of, IM Visak and Vignesh IM. So very senior player, very senior coach. And it's an opportunity for all of you to learn. See, chess is a complex game. If you really enjoy, you will learn, and it takes some time really. For a beginner to move a graduate to an intermediate level, it takes at least 1 year time. Okay, but the key is that you need to have keen interest, and you need to practice a lot. Okay, some of the students ask about how to improve. Like somebody asked about the rating is 1050. In chess.com. So my suggestion is that you have to do a lot of checkmating 2 and 3 puzzles with this simulation, like do it on actual chessboard with the actual simulation. Don't cheat, make your final move, and just look at the answer at the end. You'll get to see that if you really devote 5 minutes per puzzle without with defocus, you'll see your game will improve. And then you need to play a lot of games. Play not the blitz game or the bullet. Try to play the rapid games, 15 minutes, 20 minutes games, where you're learning whatever the tricks you learn in the game, in the trainings, that will be come into play. Okay, if you have any question, you can ask. Okay, so Tanmay Sarin, when will be the next course? Okay, so Tanmay, the one you need to enroll for the session, as this is like 6th to 11th class students, so they most likely we have a course designed by Lakshmi sir himself. Okay, how to do checkmate in 6 moves. Okay, so there would be different kind of situation. It all depends. I think the key idea is that you need to recognize the pattern. So there is no hard and fast like black and white definition how to do a checkmate in 6 moves, but there are definitely patterns which you need to understand. So for example, there are basic combination which you need to understand, and then look for the position. For example, there are we covered one of the smaller checkmate, which is like checkmate in 5 moves, but it's all about identifying the patterns. Okay, so any other questions, students? I'm closely following the chat box. Yeah, good. Okay, over to you, Ria ma'am. I think we are done. Thank you, students, for your time. And just a reminder, chess is as a sports, and it's give you opportunity to really do well at your school level, at your state level, and at your country level. It is emerging, and it is also going to help in your studies. Over to you, host. Okay, Ria ma'am, Salish sir.
Uh, Thank you, everyone. Hi, Ria. Hello, Ria, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we are about to wind up the session. Can you please?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, everyone. We have a quick poll for everyone. Thank you, everyone, for joining the session. Thank you so much, Sachin, sir.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, students.